It's 2021, the year Nebraska finally breaks through. It was another disappointing year in 2020, finishing 3-5, finishing 5th in the Big Ten West. But when you look at that season last year, and of course it was a crazy year for everyone, but if you look back at these games, they were competitive in almost every game that they played. You look at a close loss against Northwestern, a close loss against Iowa, close loss to Minnesota. Outside of really that Illinois game where they lost 41-23, besides that game, I would say Nebraska played pretty well last year, and especially on the defensive side of the ball, they started to look pretty good. Now we look ahead to 2021. Will this team be better? Will they be worse? Will they finally maybe have a chance to win the Big Ten West? It's going to be tough with Wisconsin and Iowa in that division. Of course, Northwestern as well. When you look at what they lose Luke McCaffrey at quarterback. He transferred out. Adrian Martinez, he's the guy now. This is his team. He is going to have to step up. And you look at his numbers last year, I think he's a little bit underrated. I know the team at times struggled offensively, but when you just look at his numbers and what he did, his completion percentage was 71.5. 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's the problem. Only 4 touchdowns. Got to get the ball in the end zone a little bit more. You look at his QB rating, 135. Also on the ground, he ran for 5.7 yards per carry, 521 rushing yards. He had 7 rushing touchdowns. So the numbers are there. And if this team can offensively put it together with him at quarterback, they have a chance to be pretty good on that side of the ball. They lose Dedrick Mills at running back. Obviously a big loss there. And you don't have a ton of experience behind him, but they get a big-time transfer from USC, and that is the good news here. Marquise Stepp going to be coming in at running back from USC. I think he's going to be the lead back for them next year when you again look at this roster and not a ton of experience coming back in the backfield. At wide receiver, had some transfers. Marcus Fleming, Cade Warner, not huge losses there, but Wan'Dale Robinson, they're really going to miss him, going to miss his playmaking ability. So someone's going to have to step up. The wide receiver position has not been great for Nebraska. I'm looking at Xavier Betts. I think he's going to be a guy that has a big year in 2021. And then at tight end, you lose Jack Stoll. Big loss there. And that's something I think they want to do is they want to use the tight ends. Watch for Austin Allen at tight end. I think he's going to have a big year next year. On the offensive line, Christian Gaylord, Brendan James, they're both gone. They were seniors. Matt Farinuk and Bo Wilson transferred out. So you've got some losses there on the offensive line, something that's going to be, I think, a big area of concern this offseason. Cameron Jurgens at center going to be back. He'll probably be the leader of that offensive line, but around him they're going to have to really work hard this offseason because that's going to be a big key for them. A lot of teams that we see struggle, teams like Nebraska, teams that have talent. When you look at when you compare them with other teams in their division, you're like, well, that team has talent. They should be one of the top teams. A lot of times when you look at it, it's the offensive line. That's where teams struggle. Look at Florida State. Look at Miami, teams like that. So that's a big area of concern. They're going to have to play well on that offensive line if they're going to have a chance at the Big Ten West. On the defensive side of the ball, I talked about how they started to really show some improvement there towards the end of the season. They've got a lot coming back, and this team has a chance to be really good on defense. Keem Green at defensive end, he transferred out. The only loss on the defensive line. I think they're going to be in pretty good shape there. I don't really see a big-time playmaker on this defensive line for them. In the middle, Damian Daniels, Ty Robinson, 2 guys that I think could have big years. And then at linebacker, everyone's coming back, including JoJo Doman and Will Honus, 2 seniors that are using their extra year of eligibility. Colin Miller also going to be back there at linebacker. So you got talent at that linebacker spot. Maybe not a ton of speed. When I look at their linebackers, I noticed that they don't have a ton of speed there, and maybe that'll hurt them a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. But I think the experience coming back is going to be big, and I think you'll see good linebacker play from Nebraska. And then in the secondary, DiCaprio Boodle, he is gone. He was a senior. Ronald Delancey, another corner, he transferred out. Didn't really play a whole lot. So you're okay there at corner, just losing really Boodle, the main guy. But Cam Taylor-Britt will be back, and he's going to be, I think, maybe their best player in the secondary next year. And then the safeties, they're all coming back, including Markel Dismuke and Deontay Williams, 2 seniors that are using their extra year of eligibility. So you get good news there. And overall, when you look at this Nebraska defense, like I said, everything coming back, really points towards them having a very good defense. So if Adrian Martinez and the offense can put it together, the offensive line can step up and improve a little bit. I think the run game will be there when you talk about the transfer step and Martinez, his ability to run the ball. Wide receivers need to step up. Offensive line needs to improve this offseason. That's the two areas of concern I have for Nebraska. But overall, when you look at, again, this defense and where they'll be improved there, I think this team overall will be better in 2021. Will they take that big step? Will they challenge in the Big Ten West? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be that much better. It's going to be, again, it's going to come down to that offensive line, these wide receivers. Can be more consistent offensively, things like that. The ingredients are there. The talent is there. Nebraska has the talent to challenge in the Big Ten West. Can they do it? I don't know. That's, again, going to be tough with some really good teams in that division. Speaking of Wisconsin and Iowa, because I think those two teams are the favorites. But Nebraska has the potential to potentially challenge, and I think this team will be better in 2021. And they really need to be for Scott Frost's sake. I think it's time to see some improvement with Nebraska. He's had some time now. This is it. 2021, a big year for Nebraska, but I do think that they will be better.